How are you getting on, folks? Look at it just didn't go our way there today. We were overall it was very, very poor. Thank God for Grungy in the last, is all I can say. It was just didn't go our way at all. We were very unlucky with Mount Leinster goal. She just stood at the start and didn't want to go. Well, I wouldn't say she didn't want to go. She just couldn't get. She couldn't get a great start, and that's really what finished her. Should do like she gave up. I'd say maybe 10, 15 lengths, if not more, at the start, and like even at that, like around Punchestown, it's very, very hard to get back. Like realistically, the way she finished on for sixth was definitely very impressive and overall. But I was disappointed really with the whole day. You have the likes of Heather Rocco didn't run any sort of race at all. Kemboy just unlucky. We wanted to get in front and dictate the pace, but look at Clanda's Oboza. He's just a pure natural at that sort of game, and realistically, I probably should have spotted it myself. But look at fair play to him. Paul Nicholls came over to Ireland and really put his money where his mouth was, and fair play to him. Like he's got one hell of a horse under him. Like Sir Gerhard, I think the free going, what was the horse's name? That free going sort of Peter Fahey's out in front. That really cost Sir Gerhard. I thought realistically the way he needs to go is he needs to set the pace, and he needs to really stamp down his authority on it. But look at, in fairness to Kilcruit, I can't really fault him. He really showed his work there today. Live Love Laugh, disappointing. Grungy, impressive. But look at, I'm disappointed. I was really hoping for more there today, but I'm going back to my roots, going back to my big each ways. Hopefully, look at, we can pull one out of the fire and look at, get a few of these in the places. I'd be very, very happy with that. I have a 9-4 and a 2-1 nap at next best. But the each ways include a 20-1, 14-1, 25-1, and realistically there, if we can get one or two of them among the places, we'll be doing fairly well. But we may as well crack on with a 340, very, very competitive handicap hurdle to start today. You can make cases for absolutely every single one of these. They're like, these handicap hurdles, like they're so competitive and so hard to get really one nail down to, let's just say, really get swinging and get going. But the one I'm really liking here is Back on the Bridle for Shark Hanlon and Jody McGarvey. Currently priced at 20-1. This is the first of the each ways here. I honestly can say that this lad here definitely looks to be, or this lady here, should I say, a 5-year-old mare. She looks to be well thrown in. She's run fairly credibly in defeat in the last few run-ins. Her best performance was on her hurdle debut in 3rd of 15, behind the likes of Annie Pender and Jevray. Like realistically, that form alone is fairly solid, you could say. Like the two of them have put in some fairly decent performances. Now look at, since then over hurdles was 10-14, wouldn't look too much into that. It was 50-1 that day. 9th of 16, wouldn't look too much into it. 100-1. His last run then 6th of 13 when 10-1. Look, it wasn't necessarily a bad run. It was after a bit of a layoff, if memory serves me right. No, it wasn't. It was it was his reappearance back from going from chasing to hurdles. So, like realistically, it was behind the likes of Irregular Heartbeat, Misty Millie, Rain in Spain, a very, very talented horse in his day. Chenery, Beat of the Sea, very, very talented sort around Kilbeggan. And to be behind some of them, like it was decent enough. I would imagine. Like Kilbeggan, you either love it or hate it. As a horse, it's definitely not for everyone. You need a course specialist. And look at it, was a decent enough performance. I think around here, this is definitely more her style. I think she should be thereabouts in the finish. I think realistically, you're going to be looking at 5 or 6 places on each way perspective. And I think 20 to 1 for Back in the Bridle should definitely get in or around that sort of should get in or around that sort of where would you say that sort of a position. Now it's getting about a stone and a half off the favorite here, who isn't good form, going on his hat-trick bid, but like I said, top weight in these sorts of races, like I don't know, I'm just drawn to something that's possibly thrown in here. And look at coming from Shark Hanlon's yard, it's definitely on an ideal opening mark for a race like this. And look at stranger things have happened. It's come among the places before, and I definitely think it's well within his rights to come in the places here, especially when they're paying 5 or 6 places, possibly even more. Make sure to do a bit of shopping around. But definitely Back on the Bridle, 20 to 1 each way for me. 4:15, another each way shout here, another handicap chase that's wide open. I'm really liking the look of Vaude Rev. I really like the look of that. It's definitely very interesting. Ian Jardine coming over here, previous course and distance winner, with Jordan Gainford on. This lad's back claiming £7. Look at it, he was a very talented sort when trained by Willie Mullins, but put in a fairly decent effort the last time out when third. I just think it's possibly just one that's that could be nicely treated. But the one I'm really liking in here is Brawler for Kieran Murphy and Conor Orr claiming £3. This one here has been as solid as a rock, and he's 14 to 1 at an each way price. Like I said before, you would be looking at in or around 5 to 6 places in here, I would imagine. So it's a fairly wide open contest. 14 to 1 looks to be very, very good. Now, when you look at this lad's form over at Chasing Fence, it's as solid as a rock in terms of each way perspective. He was third of 14 in Fairy House and soft ground. Third of 13 in Down Ryle on soft ground. Second of 14 in Fairy House and heavy ground. I need to see now. Second of 13 in Clonmel and soft to heavy. Second of 9 in Naas on soft to heavy, and second of 15, arguably his best run to date in Fairy House on yield and ground. Now, realistically, he's gone up £4 for that, but the way he has been running, he's been running very, very consistently. He's been putting in some very, very decent efforts. Like I said, you're probably going to be looking at an each way place range of in or around 5 to 6 places, possibly quarter the odds, 50 the odds, whatever it is offering. 14 to 1 is definitely an each way backable price, and this lad here has been as solid as a rock for connections. I think providing he gets around safe and sound, he's definitely going to be thereabouts in the finish. I think he's a very talented sort, and he should be definitely battling out strong in the finish here. 14 to 1 definitely looks to be overpriced in my opinion. Now 450 then the nap of the day, and realistically you cannot look past Some Neck at 9 to 4. Look at what more can I say? He was third behind Tiger Roll. Only ahead of him and behind Tiger Roll that day was Easy's Land, who is a cross country specialist. Basically, you could say that he is coming in here practically off level weights. He's 12 stone. I think bottom weight is something like 11 stone 9. Like realistically, he would have to give maybe, I would imagine £10 at the very least to be able to say that others have a realistic chance in here. I think he's much too good. I think he's much too talented. John McConnell is definitely going to have him well primed and well sorted. Ben Harvey works along with him as well as a hand fits a glove, and a duck goes to water. So realistically, 9-4 looks to be a very, very tempting price. I cannot see anything in here that's going to trouble him. I think realistically, providing he gets around, which he should, he's definitely going to be bang, bang there in the finish. And 9-4 is a price that won't be there tomorrow. And I can nearly guarantee you that he is by far the classiest horse of the race in terms of cross-country racing. 5.25 is going to be my patron pick of the day, so I'm not going to be covering it. But the 6 o'clock, and we're back to the each way perspective. And this one here is going to be the biggest price of the day. Second in this, in the last running of this in 2019. Young Ted for Noel Meade and Owen Walsh came at £5 at 25-1. This one here looks to be absolutely well treated and well thrown in here, coming in here off the same mark when second in this race last year. The only difference in that, if I'm not mistaken, just going back to that run, Jonathan Moore was on him that particular day. Now, Jonathan Moore wasn't claiming at that stage. No, he wasn't. He was a professional at that stage. So he wasn't claiming at that stage. He's coming in here off the same mark as that run where Owen Walsh takes off £5. So technically he is £5 well in, providing he's held on to the same ability. I think he's absolutely well treated. He should be definitely well thrown in here. 25-1 in here looks to be an absolute bargain. I cannot understand how he is such a good price. Course and distance form, course and distance winner, previous race second, so we know this is one of the targets in here. The only horse in front of him that day was My Sister Sarah for Willie Mullins, and all you have to do is look at her form and look at the horses she's been running against. There's an awful lot in here that wouldn't lay a glove on My Sister Sarah yet. Young Ted came in here off you could say a mark of £5 worse, considering Owen Walsh is claiming £5 here, and got within 3 lengths. I think this horse in here, providing it's retained some of its previous potential, is definitely going to be very hard to keep out of the places. I'm not going to say it's going to win here, but realistically, at an each way perspective, he's definitely one of the ones you should be really considering. I think 25-1 is an absolute bargain. I think he's going to run an absolutely brilliant race. And realistically, if he stays up and if he's there or thereabouts in the finish, he's going to give us some run for our money, folks. 25-1 looks to be an absolute steal of a price. 6.35 no bet race of the day. Energumene is going to win this race. If you're actually going to think that backing an Energumene at 2-5 is a great price, by all means go and do it. I'm not going to tell you to back him at 2-5. I think you'd want to be fairly hard up looking for a winner if you're backing an Energumene at that sort of price. Each way aspect, probably look at Janet Deal, but the fact that it's only paying 2 places and Janet Deal and Captain Guinness are 2 fairly closely matched horses, I just think that it's a race that you're just going to be better off sitting back and watching rather than putting a bet on and hoping it'll run in for second, or hoping something will go wrong with an Energumene, which nobody wants at the end of the day. But I think realistically, an Energumene should be winning this by the minimum, I'd say maybe about 12 to 15 lengths. He is miles too classy for this, and should take more than what the field is offering to stop him, basically. 7.05, and this one here is going to be the next best of the day, and realistically, Magic Days at 2-1 looks to be the more likelier winner here. It's a fairly hot contest. You could make cases for an awful lot of these, but realistically, Magic Days, the form of the second in the Mayor's Novice looks to be very interesting. You'd tell me something girl who ran a very decent race there today. For considering the fact that it was over a completely new trip, but realistically, look at I think that this sort of race is going to be well suited to Magic Days. She's going to go off in front. Realistically, she's going to set a fairly frantic pace. She's going to put it up to an awful lot of these, and she's going to really stamp down her mark. We've seen there today with Landis O'Bowl just how well he cemented his position and his front running tactics, and look at the way things have turned out. He overturned the last year's or the last run-ins winner of it, and overturned the dual Gold Cup winner. But realistically, look at it, it's going to be a nice race anyway. That Goulos is another interesting one. Big Bad and Beautiful probably wants a more staying track to suit her. Hook Up, I don't know. I think it needs to improve to get close to Goulos. Never mind Magic Days, the West Awaits. Don't know. Really don't know. Global Equality, wouldn't say so. I'd be fairly confident it wouldn't get close. On High Street Roller, again, probably another one that's only going in here to be battling for prize money. But in my opinion, Magic Days, it's all about her, and she should take plenty of stopping. 2-1 looks to be a very nice price. 7:35, and this one here, the last race of the day, and I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Dysart Dynamo looks to be the one to be on. I was very, very impressed with his last run in Clonmel last time out. Really, really showed some top quality form there. Looked like it was really after maturing and really starting to nail down the quality of this particular horse. Like the fact that he's a half brother or full brother to Dysart Diamond. Half brother. He's a half brother to Dysart Diamond, who again is another very talented sort. I just think, like, realistically, Dysart Dynamo, any more improvement on this should see this horse getting his head in front. But there again, I wouldn't write off Grand Jury, who is unbeaten as well. It's going to be a fairly nice race either way. But I just think Dysart Dynamo is the better of the two. But look, I'm going to leave it there. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. We've actually surpassed the 450 mark, so we're on the search for 500 now. We're nearly halfway to 1,000 subscribers, which was the aim for June. I don't know whether I'm going to reach it now by then or not, but we're going to still try. For those who are looking in, I was just looking at the analytics. 51% of those who are looking at these videos haven't subscribed to the channel. All you have to do, folks, is just hit that button below. It really, really does help me out at the end of the day. Look, it only takes a second of your time, but it really, at the end of the day, it really, really does help me massively in terms of reaching the 1,000 subscribers. For those who want to sign up to Patreon, like I probably said in the previous videos, you're probably better off maybe waiting until the 1st of May to sign up now. Basically, what it is €10 a month. It's there to help fund the Irish Racing Hour, which is a podcast there dedicated for say the Irish racing scene and the industry and everything else like that. We have special guests on every week that range from jockeys, trainers, stable staff, industry workers. The likes of we've a jockey coach coming up now later on this month, which is definitely going to be very, very interesting. And it's definitely one to keep. Like, for those who are really interested in the industry, it's definitely one to tune in for every week. But look, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave a link in the description below if you're kind enough to sign up to that. It is greatly appreciated. Like I said, you're probably better off waiting until the end of the month or the start of next month to do it, as it's an automatic payment on the first day of each month. So for the sake of yourselves, hold off until the 1st of May to sign up. For the sake of €10 a month, you're included in monthly draws and different things like that we are very, very proud to say that we have given away over €400 in prize money so far since we started up 6 months ago. But I'm going to leave it there. Like I said, please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you're going to be having a bet tomorrow, the very, very best of luck. Apologies there for the abysmal performance today. All I can say is it can only get better from here on in. Thanks very much, folks, and the very, very best of luck tomorrow.